So as a way of getting started, I'll be discussing on how gambling and betting destroys us. So let me put the ground very clear as I get started to discuss this issue. I'm not here to fight anybody. I'm not here to fight anybody. I'm not here to create a beef with anybody. I think we are above board, on those issues. And I strongly believe that we can have divergent views and still respect each other. We can look at issues from different angles and still respect each other. So this is not meant in any way as a direct attack on anybody or on a certain sect of people. I stand on one thing. I stand on development. I stand on seeing how we can be better people. I stand on seeing how we can develop as a nation. I stand on seeing how, as individuals, we can flourish. I stand on seeing how Zambians can move Zambia from a third world country to a first world country. I stand on seeing how Africa could flourish. So if there is anything that I really stand on, it is that. So quickly, let us get started. Human beings are naturally greedy. Human beings are naturally greedy. We love quick fixes. It is a natural propensity that we have. And there's something interesting. Those that fail to suppress the greediness, those that fail to suppress the propensity for quick fixes, those indulge in a number of illegal things like robbery, you can talk of prostitution, and a couple of other vices. Now, with that said, human beings naturally, or as a people, we love to earn so much with so little input. It's a natural thing. We want to amass so much with so little input. And that is why people get scammed. People would be told, put this much here, you will reap so much at the end of the month. So this same propensity of wanting to put so little and earning so much is what leads us to gambling and betting. Because our thinking is, I have this 100 kwacha. If I put this 100 kwacha, it can end up giving me a 20,000. So you want to put in so little and expect so much. I have this 10,000 kwacha. I want to end up with 1 million. You want to put in so little with the hope of earning so much. So I won't get into the intricacies of how the betting and the gambling industry works. But one thing that I can put across is this. There is no single verse in the Bible that says betting or gambling is bad. So from this Christian perspective, there is no outright verse or scripture that says gambling and betting is bad. But the things that fuel gambling and betting and the results that get to be there, it is what may be sin. Like take for instance, greediness is sin and gambling is propelled by greediness. You want to earn so much. So we pick it from that angle. Then the other thing, once you've gotten into this, there is the thing of being addicted. And once you are addicted, it becomes difficult to move out, and we find people stealing so that they can go and gamble. That then becomes a sin. But gambling and betting in itself is not outrightly called a sin. Now, with that said, I hope you're following very well, because I'm actually building to a point. With that said, we have a number of people that have indeed won from gambling and betting. And it might interest you to note that the betting companies are contributing so much tax to the government. It is a fact. They are putting in so much tax to the government. It is a fact. And it could even be amongst, the top 5. So we have the mining there. We have the telecoms there. We have the fintechs there. And betting is amongst the top 5 in terms of contributing to the government, in terms of taxes. Are people winning? Yes. Now, the question that I want you to pick as I'm delving closer to you now Here's something that I want you to pick, and I want you to answer this question. Betting companies and gambling companies, the casinos, make people win. Why do they exist in the first place? It is the fact that any business exists to make a profit. So now the question is, where do they make the profits from? Where do the profits come from? Because for them to exist, they're making a profit. So where do the profits come from? Would you have an answer? Because I have a number of people who would then come in and say, we call gambling and betting as empowerment. So meaning they are really empowering and they are giving out money and whatnot, and that's how, we make money. But a number of people say that. But the question is, if they are giving us so much money, where do they make their profits from? Okay, so it is a no-brainer. For them to exist, it is for a simple reason. More people have to lose than those that win. That is the only way they would make a profit. More people have to lose than those that win. So now, we see a number of examples of people that have won. We see a number of people that come in, I won so much, there's this billboard of this one who won this much and whatnot. We see that. Those that come out are a minority. A number of people, it is the fact they have lost and they keep losing. It is like alcohol. We see alcohol adverts, beer adverts, when they talk about alcohol. You look at those adverts. So they'll show someone, leaving the office, in a good tie, removes the tie, goes to this drinking place, and they're with friends, and they're hanging out, and they're having fun, and they're doing cheers, with their beers and with their alcohol bottles. And those are the adverts we see. And those are the people that we see. So you see this beautiful lady, this handsome man, that is an advert. That is what we see as adverts when you look at alcohol and beer. But why don't they use the real users of alcohol? I mean, that uncle of yours who is ever drunk, or that junk of a cousin of yours who is ever, who is wasting his life. I mean, that one is the real consumer of what they are advertising. Why don't they use that one? They can't use the bad side of it. They'll look at the good side of it. So when they talk about alcohol, that is what you see. You see good people, progressive people who are having fun and having a good time. But they don't use the real and you know them. In society, we have some of them are our sisters, some of them are our brothers who've wasted their lives because of alcohol. But we don't see that aspect. We see the good side of it. So in a similar way, with betting and gambling, we see the good side and we don't get to see the bad side. It is no-brainer that we have a number of people that have been affected adversely by betting and gambling. It is a fact. Not too long ago, a couple of days ago, we know of a young boy or a young man who committed suicide simply because he betted or put his school fees on a bet given to him by the brother, and he ended up committing suicide. It was on news everywhere. And it might interest you to note that personally, I have met and witnessed with a number of people whose lives have been affected by betting. One example, one good business person doing exceptional things, and now he was in a fashion business, selling clothes and doing exceptionally well. He got into the betting thing and the gambling thing in a small way, but he continued with it. So he won, lost, won, lost. Then he thought of recovering what he had lost. So he played, lost. And at the end of it all, his business ended up being closed. And you have a number of such examples. There's one of the mentees, that I've actually been, looking after and guiding. This young person married with a good wife, and they decided to have a joint account as a family. Then for whatever reason, this guy, and it always works this way. So you win, lose. Win, lose. Win, lose. Then he thought of recovering. All his money went. Then he got into the joint account. And the wife was expecting. Got all the money that was in the joint account, joint savings, all of it spent. The wife is due to give birth and there's no money in the account, or the money has been utilized. These stories are everywhere. What am I putting across? What I'm basically putting across is that there are lives that are being destroyed. There are people's lives that are being messed up by gambling and betting. Even at a higher level, we know of filling stations in Lusaka that were lost through gambling. We know of that. And I've heard, and some of you could even confirm, you could even point at the filling stations that you know that filling station belonged to such and such a person, but he gambled it away. These are the stories that are there. What am I putting across with this? It is not to attack any business, but I stand on seeing how we can develop as a nation. We need to watch these vices. It becomes very bad when people end up being addicted. So let me put it this way. Let me bring it down so that maybe we can then understand it better. There is a fine line, a very thin line between entertainment and addiction. And bring it down so that you pick it very well. There is a thin line between entertainment and addiction. With that said, when you get into bed, so let us take it for example, as a wealthy person, if you decide to gamble or bet, you could be doing it for entertainment. You are just having fun. So you have a 1 million in your account and you decide to put a 1,000 kwacha as a bet. That is just entertainment. It is nothing serious. So if you put up a 10,000 kwacha, it is entertainment. Nothing serious. Why? Because for you, you are wealthy, at least you can afford that much. To you, it is entertainment. I want you to get this. So to the wealthy, gambling and betting is entertainment. Then to the poor, it is a source of hope. Get this. Same thing. Gambling and betting is entertainment to people that have money, those that have wealth. To them, it is entertainment. Then to the poor, it is a source of hope. Now, gambling and betting is dependent on chance. So everything there revolves around chance. Now, if you are poor, you can't subject your life to chance. You can't subject your future to chance. Because if you subject your life to chance, then your life is then a game. So you can't have your life as a game. This is what I'm putting across. You can't have your life as a game. So for the poor who look at betting as hope, those are the ones that get destroyed entirely. Because they'll use their fees. For a moment, just pause there. If for a moment, as you bet, you are hit with anxiety and hoping that I win this one, at that point, your life is chance. Your life is subjected to chance. At that point, your life has become a game. Now, you can't put your life as a game. Life is a serious thing. You can't have it as a game. So the moment you wake up, all you're thinking is, how can I bet? How can I gamble? At that point, your life is getting destroyed. It's a different thing on the other end if you have so much money and what you're putting in is just for entertainment purposes. That's a different story. But if you're getting in this as a livelihood, as your hope for success, there you get messed up. And the challenge which is there is that these that start at gambling and betting as entertainment, you're just having fun. The fear is that these sometimes get addicted. And as they get addicted and end up losing, they end up, messing up their lives. So the question that I have for those that are watching and those that engage in this, is betting and gambling entertainment to you, or it is a source of hope for you? If it is entertainment, well, we can leave you. It is no big deal. You can lose the 10,000, it is okay. You can lose the 100,000, it is okay. I am not addressing you. But for those whose hope and life is dependent on the results when you bet or when you gamble, My brother and sister, you are messing up your life. And we have a number of people that have found themselves in that space. What am I putting across? Gambling companies and betting companies exist to make a profit. Where do they get the profit from? They get the profit from the many of you that lose. So all of you that bet and you think, no, people are making money. Yes, there are people who are making money. It is true. But there are many others who are losing, who are not saying a word, whose lives have been messed up, whose marriages have been messed up, whose businesses have been messed up, whose future has been cut, who have lost hope on life, or simply because they gambled with their money. The challenge that I have for all of us is this: we can make our nation great. And to make our nation great, we need to get back and work. We can't subject our success to chance. We can't subject our success to odds. It doesn't work that way. Ultimately, any person who gambles, in the long run, they end up losing. It is a fact. Any person who gets gambling, in the long run, they end up losing. Even those that won millions in America, I have a number of examples who won millions. But ultimately, this person wins a 5 million, kwacha, $5 million, $1 million, or whichever amount it is. In the long run, they end up being destitute because they are addicted to this vice and they end up losing it all. So to the youths who look at gambling as empowerment, I would urge you, let us see how we can reposition ourselves. We are running in these 40 days of defining. We can define our lives. You see, there is no easy route to wealth. I know we bet and gamble because we see it as the easy route. There is no easy route to wealth. In fact, there are no shortcuts to wealth. And some of these shortcuts that you want to take are the long cut to making it ultimately. So with that said, I'll challenge you to be part of this defining 40 days. This is just day 6 and you're moving on for 40 days. We'll be challenging each other all through this period on things that can position us for the better. And let me say this, I genuinely and would genuinely wish to see a number of us succeed. I wouldn't want to see a number of us being wasted. That is not my wish. Gambling is not the best route to success. It is a fact. Betting is not the best route to success. It is a fact. Let us not waste our lives and let us not live our life to chance. Those that engage in betting for entertainment and gambling for entertainment is a different story. Those that look at betting and gambling as a source of hope for their life, my brother and sister, you are then destroying your life. What will hit you, you will not understand it. With those words, I wish you nothing but the best. This is the message from the Radical Entrepreneur, and the future is bright.